Jeremy Cook here with Laser Cook, and today I'll be showing how to solder up a printed circuit board. Now you're probably wondering, since this is Laser Cook, how this relates to lasers. Well, it's actually pretty cool because what I did here was not the soldering so much as the solder stencil I made out of a business card. Laser cut it on my quote-unquote 60-watt laser and really helped me a lot. So you can see on the right there's a stencil that I made for my bike light, and the left is the one that we'll be showing here for a bunch of WS2812 LEDs. Just cut that out, and really cool. I had this idea and then looked it up, and actually somebody named Wesley T. Honeycutt had done this with Kapton tape. So it's a little bit different take on it. I'll put a link to his website in the description for a little bit more info. But here you go into File and then Board Setup, and then you set the solder mask clearance to 0.2 millimeters and the solder minimum width to 0. This is just kind of a shot in the dark, but it seems to work pretty well for me. At that point, you want to go to Plot. You can kind of look at your board a little bit, see what kind of layers do what. But in the end, we'll be interested in the back solder mask. So when you go to Plot, you turn everything off except for the back solder mask. So doing that there. And then you want to plot it out as a DXF. So hit the DXF selection and then go to millimeters, because that's what we'll be using here. Then plot. Gotta refill the zones, that'd be a good thing to do. After you got that, you gotta find it in your file manager or Finder in the Macintosh, and then import it, just drag it into Lightburn. Gotta make sure everything's set up for millimeters, but you will know if it's not because it'll be, I guess, 25.4 times bigger than it should be. You can set that up in the gear icon and then I think file settings. So want to delete the holes that are for through-hole components, although you could leave those and use them as a reference. One thing I did have was that some of these things, sometimes they don't turn out quite correctly. Like here you've got this hole, that's not how it's supposed to be. You just need one little rectangle. I just decided, even though you probably could modify it, I decided to just redraw it and delete the rest of it. So that's looking pretty good. Got my speed and power set at 60 and 35 respectively. Hook it into my laser. Hold it down with some magnets to make sure it doesn't slide around, and then, oh, what is that? I don't have the laser turned on. Okay, so turn it on, and then it makes quick work of this card. Looking good. Okay, take that out. Of course, this is a great use for old business cards if they don't quite live up to what you want now. Once that's done, you can line up your board. Along with here, I've got some extra PCBs that I use somewhere else. And then you just put the solder paste on top of it. Just squeeze it in. Takes a little time, but not nearly as much time as trying to do this by hand. Might even need a little extra. And look at this. Take it off. Oh, yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to just fling it all the way over your workspace. Even so, that seemed to turn out okay. And then I put on these WS2812. They're 50/50 components, so they're pretty big as far as surface mount components go, but obviously you could go a lot smaller if you wanted to. Heat that up with the heat gun, and yada yada, everything looks good. The other thing that's good about this is you can easily repeat the process with the same one, and you might even learn something. Like right there, I didn't fling the board across the workspace, so that's cool. Put those 50/50s on, it's LEDs on again, and little heat, all good. So hopefully you enjoyed this. You can see it blinking around here on my Arduino Nano board, the Grounduino, and looking good. Hopefully this will be a part of a new project in the future, but for now, hope you learned something, hope you enjoyed it. It's Jeremy Cook with Laser Cook, signing off.